Hi guys, today I will be showing you how to make these cute little fuzzy Loom Friends, and you'll need 65 rubber bands, give or take. They are stuffed with old rubber bands, or you can even stuff it with a cotton ball. This little guy was stuffed in a cotton ball, and he looks pretty much the same as the other ones, just this one is probably a little bouncier. So let's get started. You can choose your rubber band, the coloring. This one I made it rainbow all the way down to his bottom. I'm going to make it two-tone like this little guy for you, and I'm going to use the Rainbow Loom, Ocean Blue, and Navy Blue. So to make the eyes, I'm taking my black first, since mine will be black and white. I'm looping it 4 times on my hook. And then to get the white around it, I'm looping a white band twice on one side and twice on the other. And push it up. That's one of my eye. Second eye, same thing. Looping a single black band, and you can make it a different color if you want. 4 times. And then a single white. Twice on one side and twice on the other. Now this eye will be harder to pull onto the single rubber band, so if you want you can just wrap a single rubber band, which is the black, for each of the eye. I'm going to put the eye on the ocean blue part of my little fuzzy guy. So I'm getting my ocean blue rubber band, single rubber band, and pulling the eyes very carefully onto that single rubber band. And then I'm putting it aside to add to my face later. Repeat for the other eye. And if you're doing multiple color, like a rainbow, just make sure you grab that color band to where the eye is. And again, it's on the 4th row. And if you're doing the single color eye, just pull those 4 loops onto the single band. And that's my eye. I'm doing the feet now, and my feet I'm starting with ocean blue and then going to navy blue, and I'm making my feet ocean blue, and you can make your feet whatever color you want. So I'm looping 2 bands 4 times individually on my hook. That's the front of his feet, so that's 1 rubber band. Second one, looping it 4 times on my hook, and we'll have to do this 2 times for our feet. Now we're going to pull those loops onto 2 single rubber bands. Just pinch the rubber bands and scooch it. And if it's too tight or too hard, do it 1 loop less, so you can loop it 3 times. And your feet will look a little different. That's okay, you can use another band to loop it to make it wider. This will be the front of the feet. And now we'll take a single band, and we're going to loop it 3 times on our hook, and then pulling this end of our feet, the 2 loops, right onto your hook. And that's what your feet should look like. You can adjust it to make it round later. And we're going to put everything onto the bottom of our body color, and mine will be the navy blue. So I'm taking my navy blue band and I'm scooching all of those loops onto the navy blue band for my feet. So that's 1 foot. I'm going to do another one. Again, taking a single band, looping it 4 times, another single band, looping 4 times, taking 2 single bands, same color, and pulling those loops very carefully onto the 2 single bands. Scooch it in the center and let it hang like that. Now we're taking a single band, looping it 3 times on our hook for the center of our foot, and then pulling the other end where the front of our little toes are onto my hook. So that's what it should look like. Now let's take the bottom color, which will be the 7th row of our creation. So take that color, mine is navy blue, and pulling all those loops onto that navy blue single band. Be careful it doesn't come off, and let's put it aside for later. Now let's make the body, and you can use a loom in any configuration, even the monster tail. You're going to take 2 single band, twist it in the center, and pulling it across to the peg across from it. And we'll do this 2 more times, taking 2 single bands, loop it on one peg, twist in the center, and looping it across to the other peg, and we're covering 6 pegs total. Last 2 bands, pulling it across and looping it to the other end. Remember to cross in the center. Now row number 2, I'm taking the same color. This is ocean blue. And covering all our 6 pegs, creating a hexagon. That's what it should look like. And now we're going to go under, grabbing the bottom 2 bands and looping it up and over to the center. Push it down. That was row number 2. Now for row number 3, we're going to make him a little bigger. We're going to stretch him out to 8 pegs. So we're taking the center, the loops off the center 3rd peg and stretching it across to the center 4th peg. So there are 2 loops there. And now we want to move a single band off of the 2nd peg on both sides, and we want to pull the single band that's connected to the 1st peg. So we're going to go in here. I pulled this one off, and I can see that this one is attached to the 4th peg. I'm going to leave it on my hook, and this one is attached to the 1st peg, so I'm going to attach that side to the 3rd peg on that right side, and now the one that's attached to the 4th peg, I'm going to reattach to the 2nd peg. So that's what it should look like, and you should have a single band here, a single band there. Repeat for the 2nd peg, grab a single band, and I can see this one is attached to this 1st peg, so I'm just going to pull that right on over to the 3rd peg on the left, and I have a single loop here and a single loop there. So that's what your creation should look like at this point. And now we're taking the same ocean blue single band, and now we're covering 8 pegs. Go around your loom. And if you want your eyes higher on your head, then go ahead and attach it from the 1st side to the 1st center for both sides. You can do it on this row, the 3rd row, but I'm going to do it on the 4th row. Once again, same thing, go under, grab the bottom 2 bands, loop up and over. The second and 3rd peg should have 1 because we expanded it. Otherwise, every other peg should have 2 loops to pull up and over to the center. Push it down. Row number 3 is done. Let's do row number 4. And I'm adding my eyes. So I'm taking my eyes and putting it from the 1st peg, side peg to the center 1st peg. and repeat and repeat for the other eye. First side peg to the center first peg, and for the rest I'm using the same color band going all the way around. Here for my two-tone fuzzy, for the fourth row I split it in half. It's up to you. This has more orange in the back, so I'm just going to do, this time I'm just going to do the same color around. So if you want to split it in half, you can, and you can continue with your new color on this side, or I'm just going to continue with ocean blue for row number 4. Once again, go under, grabbing the bottom 2 bands, loop up and over for all 8 pegs. Row number 5, to do your two-tone, I'm switching now to the navy blue, and if you're doing rainbow, then you should be switching color every row. Except for row number 2 and 3, you should be doing the same color because the rainbow has only 6 if you're using the standard rainbow colors. So here for my rainbow fuzzy, I did row number 1 red, row number 2 and 3 I did orange, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 to the purple on the bottom. That's how it worked, but you can make it how you want. So I did single bands with my navy blue now, all covering 8 pegs and looping the bottom 2 bands up and over to the center. Push row number 5 down. It's row number 6. Same thing. That was row number 6. Let's do row number 7, and we're going to add the feet, and we'll add the feet on the same 2 pegs, or the same 3 pegs as our eyes. So looping it from the first side to the first center, and repeat for the other one. And for the rest, we're covering a single band, covering all 8 pegs, and looping the bottom 2 up and over. So my 7th row is done, and that's what your creation should look like. And if you have the monster tail, you can go ahead and stuff your little fuzzy right now. But since ours, if you're using the loom, has these pegs in the center, we need to take it off. And we're going to take it off clockwise, starting at the center 4th peg, grabbing your 2 loops off of each peg, and we are going clockwise around our loom. Do not lose your loops. Your creation will come apart. Make sure you hold down the band so it doesn't pop off, and get the loops all on your hook. So my little fuzzy guy is here. Let's stuff him, and you can use your cotton ball. I'm using some old bands that I'm not going to be using for any creation. They're terrible, so I'm stuffing those bands in the center, and it's best if you use the same color, but I'm willing to risk it. Just push as many as you want so he feels squishy but not overstuffed. You can always add more. And you want to make sure his head's not pointy, so make sure you push him down and make him rounded. Now take your last single band and we're going to tie him off by getting that band on a hook and pulling all the loops onto the single band. Everything's on, and I'm going to do a slip knot. Tie it off, don't let it slip off, and tuck it inside our body to hide the slip knot band. If you want it to be a charm, then you can add another string, another band to the top of his head. Kind of do a slip knot and making it a charm or a keychain. So I'm using my hook to push in any bands that I see and squish him down so he's nice and round. And you can fix the eyes how you want. So there's my little two-toned Fuzzies and his friends, and you can make them a family if you want. I hope you like them. Thanks for watching.